You know, I just give God all the glory and the honor. And this video is real touching in my heart because we're talking about my brothers that's innocent and locked up in the penitentiary. And there's so many people that's getting out now that has been locked down 20 or 30 years and they've been innocent. You know, DNA tests coming back and showing that they've been innocent all these years. You know, I was talking to a partner of mine the other day about this and how people are getting out of jail and how you can't pay a man back for years and years lost out of his life. You know, and you, how can you pay a man back when they can't even watch their kids grow up and their kids are grown now? They missed out on everything. And he was telling me about his cousin that was going through a case similar to the one I had. He asked me to do this video. And like I said, I'm not ashamed of nothing. And when God knows the truth and when you know the truth, and the way people judge nowadays are so judgmental because a lot of people don't know about me and some of my struggles. And one of my testimonies to this day is me being free because I walked around accused of rape. I was charged with aggravated sexual assault and had to be considered a sex offender. That's why I can relate to how brothers feel. And see, you got people that will do so much dirty stuff, but that even though going through all that, it never make me look down on women. And I have the most respect for women because I'm not going to reveal names, but me, I just use myself. I was involved in that type of mess. And, you know, it been on me for almost 13 to 14 years out of my life up to a year or two ago because God is so good. And even at my own church at the time when I was going in the neighborhood that I'm in, you know, to be called a rapist or a sex offender, to have people scared of you and you can't get a job, you know, and your neighbors got to look at you and see, you know, police coming to your house just to check to see if you live there. I had to walk around with that blue registered sex offender card, so I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to be on probation and go through years and years of mess, you know, and then we didn't have money to have a lawyer, but oh, how God can wipe a situation all the way because anybody knows me, knows my spirit, you know, and I use that as just one of my testimonies because when I got stopped not too long ago, maybe a year or two ago, me and my little brother got stopped coming back from church one night. And when I came back from church, the police pulled me over, but never told me why, because I got a twin brother, and we do look alike in so many ways, but he has the same name, not the same name, but our names look so alike in the computer, and our Social Security look so much alike, and our birthday, of course, is on the same day. So a lot of people get me and my twin mixed up a lot, but he pulled me over thinking I was my brother and was trying to take me to jail. And I had a little altercation with this police officer because I kept asking him why did he stop me. He never would tell me. And he told me to roll my window down and step out of the car. You know, and before I could even step out of the car, he done grabbed my arm and flipped it behind my back. So me with my reflexes, not knowing, you know, when you have reflexes, sometimes you don't know what you do. I done grabbed my right hand and I done accidentally pushed this police officer and pushed him pretty far because I was already mad, but I pushed him out of frustration and anger, not really thinking what I was doing. And when I did that, we was wrestling, and he tossed me up on my car, and he pulled his gun out on me. And he had me up against my own car, God is my witness, with my little brother watching and his gun in my back, and told me don't move or I'll shoot your black A. You know, he cussed at me, and I'm not making none of this up. I swear to God, but I know we don't supposed to swear to God. Lord, forgive me for that. But he had me on my car, and he was showing me in the system, and he was still typing in my brother's name, and I'm sitting there saying, sir, that's not me. I got a twin brother. But, you know, he's one of those prejudice cops. But to make a long story short, he asked me why I haven't been locked up for the last 10, 11 years. He said, man, you supposed to have been gone. And I didn't even know what he was talking about because they changed so many laws. But when they change laws, they don't tell you nothing. And see, I was already dealing with that stuff for years and years and years. And thank God I kept all my paperwork and everything I had because if I wouldn't have had my stuff, ain't no telling what would have happened. But I'm using this story as to show you the struggle I went to get to my blessing. Because even though the cop healed me up and everything, you know, so many innocent brothers get shot in the back or police killing somebody on accident. And that's all I was going through in my mind was, God, don't let this man push me. I mean, don't let this man pull his trigger and kill me, especially not while my little brother's in her watching. He even on the other side messing with my little brother, but never once told me why he stopped me. But just to keep on not make a long story short, when he was typing in my name and showing that, he said, you are a convicted sex offender. Why you ain't locked up? And see, that's why I say I had people do a lot of dirt to me, talk about me, how many women were scared of me, of something I ain't never even done. You know, but look at God working. I'm going to finish this story in a minute, but to make a long story short, I was walking, even in my neighborhood, man, this one lady did something so crucial. She took my picture and put it on all the light poles around the neighborhood and had signs on her like, beware of these guys, they are rapists. I even had one of my own cousins, I will not reveal her name at the time, but it was this woman that wanted to talk to me. She said, girl, don't talk to that boy, he raped people. In my own neighborhood, my own cousin. That's why I say family can hurt you harder than anybody, but people were scared of me. People was calling me a rapist, and I couldn't get jobs. You know, I had the police always come to my house, maybe, I don't know, every month just to see if I stayed there, because if I had to move, I had to go to their police station and register over as a sex offender, but I never moved from where I'm at. Them same people that was doing all that dirt to me and talking about me are them same people I'm praying for to this day. And some of them have changed. You know, that's why I say by words, you don't know a lot of times how you hurting people with what's coming out of your mouth. But thank God for strength, and thank him for me excusing ignorance, because I could have got mad and retaliated on a lot of things. And that cop had me hemmed up for about an hour and a half. But when I went through that, so they tried to take my case all over again and redo it and have me start all over like I just committed a crime. And remind you, I already been dealing with this stuff over 10 years, but this is the beauty of God. Look at where I'm going with this. The police station moved. Because you used to go on the computer and type in my name, Jerome Thompson, and you would see me registered as a convicted sex offender with my picture on there. And people in the neighborhood know who all sex offenders are, and they look at you crazy, but not to jump off subject, but you used to could type my name in. But when they moved this police station, look at God coming in here. They moved the police station and lost all my files, lost all my paperwork. You know, they didn't know what was going on, couldn't figure out why, because I ain't never been in no more trouble. And the trouble that I got in then, it was just me making a dumb choice of not leaving the scene, because I, to this day, charge myself up on why I didn't leave. But when you are younger and you see things, you know, you don't think. But see, now that's why I'm so cautious with women. And people wonder why I'm so cautious and careful with women, because that stuff put my life through hell. But they moved the police station and they lost all my paperwork. I keep everything in my safe. I keep all receipts. I had all the years when I was on probation. I had those classes I went to. I had my lawyer fees, court fees. They didn't have none of that stuff, and I showed them. And when they changed the law, they never did notify me and telling me that I supposed to have been registering every year, going in, checking in, turning myself in, and all this kind of stuff, and reporting. So that law didn't even apply to me, because I was already put on trial and going through that stuff over 10 years ago. And they trying to take my stuff from 10, 11 years ago and flip it to what's going on today. But see, when they lost that paperwork, but see, I told the head man down there, I said, they didn't lose that paperwork. I said, God deleted it. I said, because when you mess with a child of God, even though it took all these years, but I'm free. Because when they typed my name in, a picture of a 40-year-old man came up. Nobody know who he was. Didn't even look nothing like me. And I said, look at God. The head chief man came in there, and he said, you know what, son? I said, you ain't never been in trouble, man. This stuff is ridiculous. It happened years ago, and you have served your time or whatever, your community service and everything you done, you have done it. He said, you come here on your next birthday, and we're going to delete all this mess. Hallelujah. Boy, I went in there, and they deleted everything. Me and my mama just looked at each other, and as I watched the tears come down my mama's eye, I said, people can't tell me what God won't do, because I had to go through that struggle, because if I never got stopped by that police officer, I probably wouldn't have wound up going to that station, and I probably would have wound up being locked up with some of the rest of the innocent people that's locked up. So don't tell me what God can't do. I just got to testify a little bit right now. I walked around for 12 or 13 years as a sex offender. Do you know how that feels? Do you know what people say to you? Do you know how many people wanted to fight you, kill you, destroy you? Hey, man, why you do that to that girl, man? Why y'all rape that girl? How many jobs I couldn't get? But the power of God. I even was talking to this girl at church one time, and this girl was working with the government and had access to all this stuff. Before she was trying to talk to me, you know, and get to know me, she done already pulled me up and said, oh, no, what happened with that? Did you rape somebody? See, that stuff put my life through hell. See, the devil meant it for my bad, but God meant it for my good. This going to help somebody right now. Pray for our brothers locked up. I got so many kin folks locked up right now, and I'm praying for them. Y'all hold y'all head up, because some of the people in the penitentiary get access to the internet and can look at this video, and I just hope it can reach them and touch them in the name of Jesus. Be blessed.